Good morning, brothers and sisters from Kopanong. I hope you are well on this third Sunday of Advent. Advent, as we mentioned last week, the weeks leading up to Christmas, where we build the expectation for the celebration of the coming of Christ. And in many traditions, this third Sunday of Advent is called the Sunday of Joy. So I thought, let's read a passage from Zephaniah chapter 3. It's verses 14 to 20. You may have heard them before, but let's hear them again this morning. Sing, daughter Zion, shout aloud, Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all your heart, daughter Jerusalem. The Lord has taken away your punishment. He has turned back your enemy. The Lord, the King of Israel, is with you. Never again will you fear any harm. On that day they will say to Jerusalem, do not fear, Zion. Do not let your hands hang limp. The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. If we read this, I'd like you to think about all the images of God that you can remember from the Bible. There are some images and descriptions of God that we use very often. God as Father, or God as King, God as Shepherd. Some images appear only here and there, and we don't often hear of them, such as God as described as a bear. What of the image of God as a joyful, rejoicing, dancing almost God, like we find here in Zephaniah? Ever thought of God like that? And this is not a shy, a timid joy. This is the joy of David dancing in front of the ark, or a bridegroom's joy at seeing his bride, or the joy of a father welcoming back his long lost child. And it is a personal joy, a joy about someone, about Judah, about Zion, about Jerusalem, about God's people, about me, a joy about you. When we look at the bigger story of Zephaniah, we realize how big and beautiful this joy is. Because in the first few chapters of Zephaniah, reading them, that's not pleasant. The people of God has sinned in so many ways. And God has to act seriously against that. He has to judge it. He has to move against it. But when it is done, when the sin and the unrighteousness and the rebelliousness is taken away, and God removes it from his people, God breaks out in song. Because the relationship is restored, it's repaired, it's made whole again. And this is the important thing to realize. If you see the bigger story of Zephaniah, God does what he needs to do so that the loving relationship with his people can be restored and can be healed, and he can express his joy about them. This time of Advent, this time leading up to Christmas, actually also reminds us of this, of God doing everything to restore the joy. Because this time reminds us of how God became a human in Jesus Christ, and for 33 years, roundabout, lived on this earth, and then suffered on the cross. Died on the cross, so that the broken relationship with God can be restored, that we can be united with God again. That everything that offends and affected God's joy about us negatively could be taken away. That there is nothing anymore that can diminish God rejoicing over us, that can take away God's joy over us. and can take away that God celebrates me and you. May you, in this time of Advent, know and experience that God rejoices over you, that He takes great delight in you, that He sings about you, because Jesus has restored our relationship. May you have a wonderful week, and may you experience the joy of the Lord. Amen.